Imagine beginning today as a new version of yourself, leaving behind everything that limits you, decisions that no longer make sense, a past that weighs more than it teaches, and excuses that only keep you still. What would you do differently? How would it feel to start again, but with awareness and direction? It's time to empty that emotional backpack and take your first step with lightness. The Stoics believe true power lies not in escaping reality, but in creating a new one from the present, facing challenges with courage and action. In this video, you'll discover 9 powerful practices capable of transforming your life from the inside out. This isn't about changing appearances, it's about rebuilding yourself through strength, vision, and presence in the world. Today is not just another day, it's a real opportunity to leave behind what no longer serves you. If you want to reinvent your life, then begin acting like someone new. Write in the comments below, "Today, my change begins from within." Let that phrase be your first step toward the life you've decided to build. Now, let's begin. Practice 1. The most important skill you can develop. If there were one skill that could transform your life starting today, it would be the ability to focus. In a world overflowing with distractions, where attention is pulled in 10 directions at once, maintaining concentration has become rare, and for that very reason, immensely powerful. Marcus Aurelius, one of history's greatest Stoic thinkers, faced internal distractions remarkably similar to our own. Even in an era without smartphones or social media, he understood the secret. Focus on each minute as if you were a Roman, with seriousness, precision, justice, and purpose. He reminds us that focus is not accidental. It's a practice that demands intention and willpower. And today we are not only interrupted by external noise, but by internal chaos too: worries, unanswered messages, endless notifications, and never-ending to-do lists. Cal Newport, author of Deep Work, describes this ability as nearly extinct in modern society. He argues that humanity's greatest achievements, moments of peak performance and truly meaningful progress, come from periods of uninterrupted, profound concentration. Stoicism offers a powerful example of how to cultivate this. Seneca lived in a noisy house in Rome, streets full of chatter, neighbors shouting, constant urban clamor. Yet he wrote to a friend that he had learned to harden his nerves against external disturbances. He said, "I force my mind to concentrate. I prevent it from wandering into things outside." His point was clear: even if the world is loud and chaotic, inner peace is possible as long as your mind remains calm. That is mastery. That kind of self-control doesn't happen automatically. It's built through patience and discipline. Meditation, daily writing, reflection, and consciously disconnecting from distractions are essential tools for developing this strength. As Seneca wrote, "No noise reaches you, no word pulls you from your center." Of course, no one is perfect. You won't be, nor am I. But perfection is not the goal. Progress is. Seneca teaches us that even amid chaos, you can reach a state of deep focus where no emotion, no distraction, no circumstance can pull you from the present. Marcus Aurelius encourages us to direct our gaze toward what truly matters and commit to it. If there's one thing worth cultivating from this moment forward, it's the skill of being fully present, of staying where you are while you are. This practice alone can transform every instant of your life. So here's your first challenge. From now on, train your focus in everything you do, and I propose a simple ritual to begin living this principle. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment, "I choose to focus. Today, I begin." Because every decision to concentrate becomes a quiet act of rebellion in a distracted world. And with that commitment, you've already begun to reclaim your attention. Practice 2. The philosophy of a strong body and resilient mind. Treating your body with rigor may not sound like philosophy, but it's deeply connected to it. The Stoics weren't just silent thinkers, they were men of action. They ran, wrestled, lifted weights, and hunted. They trained like warriors, not for vanity, but for mental strength. For them, a healthy mind and a strong body wasn't just a slogan, it was a way of life. Many people set goals today: better health, fitness, strength, energy. And yes, caring for your body is vital. But when we think of a philosopher, we rarely picture someone physically active. We imagine an old professor sitting quietly in a chair, sedentary, perhaps frail. But the ancient philosophers were the opposite. Socrates, for example, was admired as a soldier for his endurance in freezing conditions. Cleanthes was a boxer. Marcus Aurelius trained in wrestling and boxing. Seneca immersed himself daily in the icy waters of the Tiber River. It wasn't for show, it wasn't about aesthetics. These physical disciplines were training grounds for resilience, for character, for self-mastery. Epictetus used metaphors of soldiers and combat to teach wisdom, because he knew that physical training was inseparable from mental fortitude. Seneca said, "We treat the body with rigor so it doesn't disobey the mind." For the Stoics, physical effort was a metaphor for mental growth. By pushing your body beyond comfort, you develop the same determination, patience, and courage needed to face inner battles. When you choose a physical challenge, a walk, a gym session, a functional class, you're not just building muscle. You're growing the inner voice that says, "Yes, I can. I keep my promises. My mind commands my body." It's an exercise in discipline, determination, and self-governance. It's not about health or appearance. It's about strengthening your willpower. Every time you ignore the inner voice saying, "It's too hard, I'm tired, I'll do it tomorrow," you reinforce your capacity to act despite discomfort. Your body resists, but you move anyway. And in that movement, energy returns. You carry that clarity into the rest of your day. That's the power of physical effort. It doesn't just strengthen your body, it strengthens your mind. It teaches you that you're capable of far more than you believe. It reshapes how you respond to adversity, making you more balanced, resilient, and confident. So when setting your goals, don't just choose something that builds your body, choose something that also nourishes your inner strength. With every physical challenge overcome, you grow mentally stronger. Every victory over laziness, pain, or fear adds another brick to your unbreakable spirit. Commit to this truth. I will stop being a slave to comfort and start training the warrior within me. Because greatness doesn't wait for motivation. It's forged in action. Practice 3. Free yourself from bad habits. Seneca, with his sharp Stoic insight, challenged us with a powerful question. Show me a man who is not a slave. He observed that even those who owned slaves carried invisible chains of wealth, responsibility, desire, or fear. For Seneca, true slavery wasn't physical, it was mental. He said, "One man is enslaved by sex, another by money, another by ambition. And all of us are bound by something, whether hope, fear, or addiction." True freedom begins when you recognize these hidden chains. Only then can you break free from the unconscious suffering they cause. Ask yourself, what controls you? Is it the coffee you can't live without, the cigarettes you need, the phone you check every few minutes, or perhaps an obsession with gambling, believing that someday you'll win big? Anything that dominates your thoughts and actions holds more power over you than you hold over yourself. If you cannot go a single day without it, then it governs you. And here lies the most crucial realization. It's not the habit itself that defines you. It's the dependence it creates. That craving, that constant pull, that's what needs to be questioned. Some vices can be eliminated completely. Others simply return in different forms. Think of someone who quits drinking alcohol, but replaces it with excessive sugar, caffeine, or screen addiction. They left one cage, only to enter another. For the Stoics, it's not the absence of desire that brings freedom. It's the conscious choice not to obey it. While any habit has power, none should rule your life. Commit today to breaking free from what binds you. Start now. Your freedom, your greatness, depends on it. Because as long as you remain under the control of your impulses, you cannot rise to meet your highest potential. Practice 4. Have a mentor. Marcus Aurelius, in one of the few personal passages in Meditations, writes, "Like a soldier storming a wall, you have a mission to fulfill. If you fall, you'll need a comrade to help you up." This quote carries profound meaning. He shares it simply, as if to say, there's nothing shameful about needing help. It's natural, expected, human. Whether you seek advice, therapy, books, courses, or hire a mentor, asking questions is part of growth. Yet many of us hesitate to ask for support, as if it were a sign of weakness. But consider this. When others come to you for help, do you judge them? No. You feel honored. You're glad to contribute. So why do we see our own need for guidance as failure? Because pride disguises itself as independence, but true strength includes knowing when to ask for help. Charlie Mackesy wrote in The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, "Asking for help isn't giving up, it's refusing to give up." That's the truth. In life, there will be times when things don't work, when you face problems, doubts, struggles, and feel like you're fighting hard but moving nowhere. At those moments, you have two choices: stay stuck or seek guidance from someone who's walked your path before. Asking for help requires courage, but it's also a declaration of commitment. If you're serious about becoming better, you don't have to do it alone. Find someone who knows the terrain, someone who understands the problem you're facing. Remember, we're all human. We all experience fear, insecurity, fatigue, and confusion. It's common to feel isolated during hardship, to believe no one else could understand. But the truth is, many people, perhaps more than you think, are walking similar paths. Recognizing our shared struggle brings comfort. It reminds us we're not alone. And when we open up, share our burdens, and learn from others' experiences, that's when real transformation happens. So write in the comments, "Today, I choose to ask for help." Because seeking wisdom is not surrender, it's strategy. And it's one of the bravest things you can do. Practice 5. Change your attitude, not your environment. You must change your mind, not your location, because your flaws will follow you wherever you go. Seneca. This sentence holds immense power. Too often we believe our problems lie outside, in the environment, in people, in circumstances. But the root of our struggles is internal, in our mindset and attitude. Consider a practical example. Someone decides to move houses, believing the new place will bring peace, order, and happiness. But after the move, chaos and disorder remain. Why? Because along with their belongings, they brought the same habits, the same scattered mind, the same lack of structure. It's easy to fall into the illusion that changing external conditions will solve everything. But as Seneca reminds us, the error is not in the circumstances, it's in the mind itself. A sick person doesn't get well just by changing cities. The illness moves with them. If you want real change, don't escape your environment. Transform your inner world. Otherwise, you're just changing scenery without rewriting the script. Running away might seem like a temporary solution, but it doesn't resolve internal conflicts. It only delays the inevitable confrontation with yourself. Seneca delivers another powerful line. If you want to escape your problems, you don't need to go somewhere else. You need to become someone else. This doesn't mean abandoning your identity. It means evolving your mindset. It's an invitation to have the courage to look inward, to confront what needs to change. Admitting the problem may be within you is uncomfortable, but it's liberating. Because if we are part of the problem, we can also be part of the solution. Stoicism teaches that real strength lies in taking responsibility for your life. It demands conscious action, reviewing habits, challenging limiting beliefs, and developing the resilience to grow. Acting means facing change head-on, even when it brings discomfort. Progress comes from small, consistent steps, not grand escapes. Avoiding reality through distractions, Social media, overwork, entertainment only postpones the truth. Seneca believed peace and happiness aren't found in places or situations, but in the courage to face our fears and evolve. Hiding may feel easier at first, but the real journey begins when you decide to rebuild from within. So instead of searching for new roads to avoid your pain, focus on building a resilient, committed mindset. Because as Stoicism teaches, change isn't in the world around you, it's in how you choose to face it. And the key to a fuller life always lies within you. If you want to learn more about Stoicism in practice, leave a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another lesson. Practice 6. Stop chasing perfection. Seek progress instead. The pursuit of perfection can be a deadly trap for progress. Martha Graham, one of the most influential choreographers of the 20th century, experienced this painfully in the winter of 1931. After months of intense work on a dance series, she felt her creation didn't live up to her reputation. Even though dancers and friends praised it, she saw only mistakes. Her frustration grew so great she believed she had wasted the entire year. "I ruined my season," she lamented. That suffocating perfectionism is a common fate for talented people. Their high standards, which once drove excellence, can become a prison, blocking creativity, halting expression, and paralyzing action. Winston Churchill said, "Perfectionism is merely another form of paralysis." We get trapped in resistance, which is really fear disguised as diligence. Fear of failing, fear of not being good enough, fear of showing vulnerability. The Stoics understood this battle well. They didn't advocate perfection, they championed progress. For them, excellence came from the relentless daily effort to improve, not from achieving flawlessness. Epictetus taught, "Can you avoid errors? No, but you can work to minimize them." This mindset is freeing. It reminds us that the goal isn't to be flawless, it's to grow continuously. Perfectionism isn't humility, it's not dedication. It can be narcissism, a fear of finishing, a fear of exposure. But real work is only complete when it's shared. Growth demands the courage to accept imperfection, acknowledge limits, and still keep going. To finish, to deliver, to try. As Seneca said, "Life is like a play, not measured by length but by quality." So don't wait until your performance is perfect to step on stage. Step on with courage and refine as you go. Accepting that you'll never be perfect is liberating. It means embracing progress over stagnation, learning over avoidance. It means having the bravery to release your work, to begin, to end. Because ultimately, growth isn't about reaching the ideal, it's about moving steadily toward it. And if you know someone trapped in perfectionism, share this video. Because sometimes the kindest thing you can offer is a reminder. Done is better than perfect. Practice 7. Understand that only you control your emotions. Imagine a peaceful morning. You're at home, managing your life, everything under control. Then someone makes an inappropriate comment, a criticism, a veiled provocation. Suddenly your blood pressure rises, your mood shifts, and it feels like they've ruined your day. But was it really them? Or did you hand over your power? This is one of Stoicism's hardest and most liberating truths. No one has the power to unsettle you unless you allow it. What the other says may be offensive, disrespectful, even cruel, but how you respond is entirely yours. Anger is not automatic, it's a choice. And every time you react with irritation, you press the same old button, replaying the same painful pattern. But there's another path. It's like restarting a frozen video game. You reset. You choose to play differently, not because the world changed, but because your mindset did. Epictetus said, "It is not events that disturb us, but our judgments about them." The words of others are just sounds. It's your interpretation that turns them into attack, offense, or humiliation. And what you do next, that's what shapes your life. Think of a busy city, loud, chaotic, full of horns and voices. Now imagine putting on noise-canceling headphones and continuing in peace. The noise hasn't disappeared, but it no longer controls you. That's the Stoic response. The world will keep testing your boundaries, but now you refuse to play the game of provocation. You stop wasting energy on what doesn't build, and you no longer react with yesterday's emotions. This is the core of emotional mastery, learning to lighten your load, to let go of what weighs you down, to ignore what doesn't serve you, to respond as someone new, not as the person defined by old wounds. The greatest reset isn't in your job, resume, or address. It's in your mind. So next time something irritates you, pause and ask, does this feeling belong to my new self? Or to the old version I'm leaving behind? The answer to that question can be your real starting point. Practice 8. Stop procrastinating. Start now. Epictetus asked a powerful question that still echoes today. How much longer will you wait to demand the best from yourself? Marcus Aurelius reflected on this in Meditations. He wrote, "We know what is good for us right now, yet we choose to delay it. We tell ourselves, I'll do it later. I'll do it when things calm down, when everything goes back to normal, when my mind is calmer, when the weather improves." This is the great lie we tell ourselves to justify procrastination. Delay is a habit, and as Seneca said, one that fools call wisdom. They spend their lives preparing, but never starting. But the mentally strong don't wait for the perfect moment. The Stoic acts, gathers strength, willpower, and discipline, and does what must be done immediately. Not tomorrow, not when the stars align. Now. Because the best time to start was yesterday, or years ago. But the second best time is now. Think of it practically. Take YouTube creators, for example. Thousands of people now share skills: knitting, cooking, fixing appliances, gardening. Are they smarter, more talented? Not necessarily. But they started years ago. They began when they were imperfect, uncertain, afraid. And because they acted first, they now speak from experience. As the proverb says, "The early bird drinks the cleanest water." If you want success tomorrow, next month, or next year, you must plant the seeds today. All future results depend on decisions made now. So ask yourself, what are you delaying that could change your life? Don't say, "I'll do it later." Do it now. Seneca warned, "Fools are always preparing, never beginning." So what if, instead of saying, "I'll do it later," you simply started today? Wouldn't it be better to stop waiting and take the first step? Your desired future depends on the choices you make today. Tomorrow will only harvest the consequences of your current inaction. Write in the comments, "I choose to act now," because the only time that exists is this one. Practice 9. Choose one word to live by in 2025. Seneca said, "No wind is favorable to the ship that doesn't know where it wants to go." This idea highlights a fundamental truth. Direction matters. Without a clear destination, every effort feels scattered, and you drift aimlessly. Starting today, adopt a simple but transformative practice. Choose one word that represents your purpose for the coming year. Just like yogis set an intention before each session, or meditators use a mantra to center themselves, the Stoics used virtues as guiding principles. Marcus Aurelius sought to be honest, humble, direct, and cooperative. Zeno wanted to live in harmony with nature. Epictetus valued self-mastery. These weren't random traits. They were chosen anchors. Your word functions the same way. It's a star to navigate by when storms arise. It's a compass when the fog rolls in. It's a reminder when you forget your purpose. Why choose a word? Because picking one word is choosing a direction. It's deciding, this year I will live with courage. This year I will prioritize integrity. This year I will practice presence. When you select a word, you give your mind a single reference point. Instead of chasing 10 goals at once, you focus on one. Each decision, large or small, can be filtered through that word. Does this align with my word? Will this move me closer or further? This practice brings clarity, reduces overwhelm, and creates coherence. It transforms scattered efforts into a unified movement. So I invite you, choose your word for 2025. Write it down. Put it where you'll see it every day, and let it guide you, not through force, but through gentle, persistent alignment. Because reinvention doesn't require a revolution, it only requires one decision, repeated daily.